Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man. It's Tuesday and I have another batch of soap to make. And if you watch me on a regular basis, like some of you know do because you send me the nice comments, you're thinking, but Soap Man, you usually soap on Saturday or occasionally Sunday. Why Tuesday? Well, you're absolutely right. Well, first of all, this is election day. I'm very fortunate that federal elections are a paid holiday for me, so I'm off work today. I've already gone and voted this morning and done my duty. I hope you've done the same thing. I don't care who you voted for, I just hope you voted. Anyway, this is not a political video, so let's get started making some soap. One reason I'm soaping today is because I'm off today. Another is because I have some soap pieces left over from last week that I wanted to use over. Now, if you watched last week's, I did an abstract city. And in the video, the scent oil that's going to darken the top nice and brown was a really medium tan then. It is starting to brown. Look at it now. I'm going to probably show you this as we go. I'm not sure if this picks it up or not. I hope it does. If you see this in the previous video, this was Saturday, less than a week ago. It was a light tan. Now it's starting to darken. And it's going to darken more and more and more. Plus, I had some pieces left over from that. I had some of the black left over. I poured into my mold at an angle. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It had a half moon, so I have the other half of the moon here. And it had what I thought were buildings. And I had this left over. I don't want this to go to waste, and I kept thinking, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? Well, you know, I really don't know. I'm not really that creative. I gotta be honest, I'm not that creative. And that's why I soap and post it on YouTube, because a lot of my ideas I get from you all, or even if it's not exactly the same, at least an idea from it. So anyway, that's why I go ahead and share on YouTube. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and mix this up. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of white on top of this black, so just enough to fill it up. And then on the top of that, I'm going to put ultramarine blue in it, a nice dark blue. And just kind of intermittently, not intermittently, but just randomly place these two shapes in that dark blue. So it's nothing, I don't even know what to call it truthfully, I'm just having pieces left over. So here we go. I'll post the recipe in the description box below. My lye water is 110, has Tussa silk in it. My oils are 120. That's a good ratio because I want to soak pretty hot, because I do want to encourage gel phase. So I will wrap this and cover it. I've also done a slight water reduction to hopefully reduce the chance of glycerin rivers. There's only going to be a small amount of titanium dioxide, which increases the chance. So hopefully this will go through a nice gel phase, get a nice vivid color, and no glycerin rivers. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up and get a light emulsification. In case you're wondering, yes, I'm wearing gloves on my hands, or bags on my hands. I'm out of gloves, and I just really don't want to risk a lye burn. It's simply not worth it. This is a little clumsy, a little awkward, but I'm not having to do intricate detail today, so this keeps my hands safe. It's better than not wearing gloves at all and risking a lye burn. Here we go. Make a little bit of noise here and get these lightly emulsified. That's good enough to start, because I'm going to stick blend once I get the colors in, because I do want a thick trace with this, or semi-thick trace. I don't want a very, very thick, but a semi-thick trace. I'm going to put this, I'm just eyeballing it, roughly a third into one. This is going to be the white, just very roughly. It doesn't have to be exact. Maybe a little bit more than that. There we go. And the rest into this one. Alright. That's not going to leave me enough room to stick blend, so I'm just going to let that saponify into soap. Wash my car later with that. So here we go. Let's put some colors into the white. I'm mixing lightest to darkest first. Put this blue in here. And I do want a pretty dark blue, so I'm going to try my best to scrape all this out and get as much in there as I can because I'm wanting a nice dark blue. Okay. That's about all I'm going to get. And I don't want to waste too much time and let things start to thicken up on me. So let's do this and mix this. A little bit of stick blending. This also has a water reduction. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So it's going to cause it to thicken up pretty fast as well. Now my white is very, very well mixed. That, for one thing, reduces the chance of a glycerin river, is having your titanium dioxide soap mixed really, really well. Here we go. I'm going to pour this in just on top, just enough to cover the black. See the black in there? Just enough to cover it. And have a little bit of base above it. Alright, I'm going to put the rest of this into my muffin mold to use later. I'll wash the dishes with this, wash the car with it, whatever, doesn't matter. Even going to have some blue mixed in it, but like I say, this is not soap that's going to be used to give out. It's just going to be used for cleaning purposes, other than in the shower. And I'll probably have some blue left over to do the same. I just don't want this going to waste. Alright, that over there. Let's see how my blue's doing. Yep, still kind of like gravy, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit to make sure my oils and waters and colors are all mixed together well. Wipe some of this white soap off so it doesn't lighten my blue. Alright, here we go. Bear with me a minute, we'll stick blend my blue just a little bit, get it a little thicker and better well mixed. Actually, that looks kind of neat with the blue mixed in it. That might actually be a nice one to give out. Doesn't look half bad with that dark blue mixed in it. Alright, but my blue is really thickening like I want it to. So, let's get this out of here. My white nice and thick so it can support the blue base. I'm going to pour it carefully, not to pierce through, because I'm going to spoon this on actually. Even though my white is nice and thick right now, I just don't want this to pierce through. I want a nice clean line. This is at a pudding-like trace, which is what I want. To make sure it will support these embeds. Okay, pound down. Now I'm just going to randomly, and this is not as long as the mold, the end piece is not going to have these in it. I'm just going to kind of randomly lay that like that and start to cover it. I'm not sure if you saw that or not, but when I was pounding that down, a big stream of soap batter, caustic soap batter with active lye in it, went spurting across, and it's over there, and this is why you wear gloves, and this is why you absolutely wear goggles. Didn't hit me, hit the counter, but it very well could have hit me in the eye, and if I didn't have goggles on, I'd have been in big, big trouble, folks. Okay, so I'm going to kind of try to just get this sort of at an angle over here. Cover it. Guess what? I'm running out of soap. I may have part of this exposed because I'm just about out of batter. So actually what I think I'm going to do is sacrifice some of the end get this covered. This end will be probably what I'll use for myself. Unfortunately, the soap is thick enough I can do that. So the 2 inches toward the end of this soap will be what I'll use for myself, just to make sure, like I always test it to make sure that it's going to be safe to use and it makes a nice bar of soap. I always use it in the shower, do the tongue zap test first, and then take it in the shower. So the end piece is not going to look nice at all, but it's okay because I'm going to use it myself and test it. There you have it. Alright, I'm going to put this to bed, wrap it up and put it to bed and let it go through gel phase. Okay, so once again, that's where I ran out of soap and I had to scoop some out of the end. That's going to be the piece that I use. I'm not worried about it, what it looks. I just want to know how it works in the shower and if it's safe to use. The rest of this I'll cut tomorrow, although it'll be Sunday probably when you see this. But anyway, everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.